To a movement. This morning we have Lolita Frazier, the heart behind A Sun for My Sun, and we also have the show host this morning, Karina Dykes. A Sun for a Sun is the annual fashion show fundraiser that is happening this weekend, an event that transforms grief into healing and hope for families impacted by gun and domestic violence. Ladies, thank you so much for being here and really shedding the light on this fundraiser.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Of course. So this is the 7th annual fundraiser, right? For somebody who's unfamiliar with this, Lolita, I'll have you start with you. Kind of talk a little bit about where this kind of all started.
Okay, and so I am a fashion professional, former model, turned runway coach, confidence coach. Just been on a journey of just helping people stand tall and strut in their truth. And in 2016, my son was killed. My son was killed, senseless act of gun violence, and it just changed the whole trajectory of what strutting meant for me. And so I created this fundraiser, A Sun for My Son, to shine light onto other mothers who are in dark situations from losing their children, and just to be like just a piece of hope. And so we combine fashion with advocacy, hope, healing, and just the facts of what this really looks like.
A Sun for My Son, that's a very powerful, name to it. Where did that come from?
And so myself and a good friend of mine, we're talking about just how dark the situation was and how if you allow it to, it will cut the lights off. Mm-hmm. But with me, I've always seen myself as that sun, as the light that comes into the room and can make, just things brighten up. And so I wanted to be able to pass some of that on to other mothers who may not have that inside of them like I do.
Karina, you've been working pretty much alongside her the whole time. How did you guys connect and kind of working together for this?
Yes, absolutely. So we actually connected by way of another fashion show. She was the runway coach and I was the host for that show. Mm-hmm. And she told me, she said, when I host my first show, when I do my show, you're gonna be the host. And she meant it, and it proved it then when she came back after the fact and said, yeah, okay, so I need you to be my host, and it's been an honor and a privilege to be here for 7 years.
Wow.
Yes.
What does this mean for you to kind of be able to really shine a light on this fundraiser and also bringing awareness to everything that Lolita and the team really speak to?
Yes, it means absolutely everything to me. I grew up where tribe mentality was a thing. We could go next door and get 2 eggs and know that everything was gonna be okay, So it means so much to me because I get to show up for her. I get to say, you need 2 eggs, here you go. You see what I'm saying? I get to say, you want to spread the awareness, let's do that, because that's what I do professionally. I'm often the voice and the face for people who are trying to get a message across. So it's truly an honor.
Wow. And you really have a great support system. You were telling me about that. Talk about how throughout this entire thing, from really starting this and of course with the tragedy, talk about how your support system really came together.
I will say that some of them were right there and I didn't even realize they were my support system. Like when I saw her, I didn't know that what the connection was, but it was already written. I have a great co-director who, everybody who's a part of this organization, we love it as if it's our own. Yes. The other thing that I find that's in common is that we all are mothers of sons. Yes. And so even though we use the SUN for daughter or son, we happen to be mothers of boys. And so, even though it hasn't happened to them, the goal is to have this conversation and to be able to build this community so that we can save, my friends' sons, and, anybody who's a part of what we're doing, whether it's just somebody who heard about it, somebody who has actually experienced it firsthand, or just somebody who may see it right now on the news, this is for us.
Wow. And so 7 years, obviously it keeps coming back and back, bigger than ever. What can people expect this weekend?
People can really expect a life-changing experience.
Love this.
This is bigger than a show. This is a place where you can get people to come together and not even understand that the message is for them. This is about helping hurt people strut through their pain. Taking the focus off of guns and putting it on the healing so that we can understand that if we heal our children and if we heal ourselves, that we would never decide to pick up a gun and take someone's life. And so this is all about just building people up and giving them something good that they can feel.
So if people want to come and stop by, give me all of the details. It looks like we got some photos up there and some of the models too as well. Talk to me about it.
And so if people want to, participate, come to the show. Right now, tickets, it is a ticket-only event because we're a nonprofit. We're trying to make sure that we, keep up with everything and make sure that we take this fundraising to its highest level. And so you can get tickets on Eventbrite. Also, if you're not able to come and you may be out of town or just unavailable, we have options where you can sponsor, you can also donate, and especially with sponsoring a mom, it's really important when you lose a child to, people don't think about the things that we stop doing, and it's simply because, one could be because we can't afford it, but also because we haven't had that thing ignited inside of us again. And so this is what we're trying to do. This is what we're doing. We're able to just give them a good time, and a lot of us, like I said, we stop. Grief stops that. And so we want to pick it up and show people how to strut through it again.
Listen, I love that.
Yes.
Strutting through all of that too.
Yes.
So for you, kind of being the hostess with the mostest, what can we expect? You have to be bringing the energy, right?
Oh, absolutely. I already know. You know what I'm saying? This is what's required on the runway, and this is what happens. We are all about celebrating life. One thing that she's been intentional about was not allowing the transition of her son to cause her to transition as well. There's so much life to live, and she shows up in that light every day. And so I'm just a reflection of her light on the runway. So it's an exciting time. It will be a night of fashion. It will be a night of art, entertainment, but it will be a night of awareness. We're on the runway and a mission. So it will be very exciting and full of life.
I love that.
Yes.
Runway with a mission.
Yes.
That is amazing. Ladies, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for going ahead and shedding a spotlight on this information. And of course, with the big fundraiser happening this weekend, let's go ahead and show that poster right there one more time on that flyer with all of the details. We're also going to be putting it on our website, WLTX.com, right there, A Sun for My Son, happening on September 28th. Again, ladies, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
Of course. All right, everyone, let's go ahead and send things now over to media.